People, it's me, Kinghuman. Listen up. This is important. I am broadcasting to you from a place far, far distant from where you are. And for me to be able to help you, I need you to realize a couple of things. First of all, you are in the matrix. And second of all, you need
to wake up.
You need to wake up. You need to realize the fraud that's been perpetrated upon you all these years. What do I mean by that? Okay, well, first of all, we've been having these conversations for a while now. I've been posting videos about how we have been programmed to be batteries in the matrix. Now, I suggest you go look at my past videos. They're in a folder in my in a playlist under my videos. I forget what it's called. But go watch those. It'll help you, bring you up to speed. But here's what I want you to realize. You are a product of everything that you have learned up to this point. True? Now what I want you to do is I want you to question the validity of that education that you have gotten up to this point, all these years. First of all, question the source of the education, and now question the quality of the education. Mostly society calls it education. I call it programming. Because what is it? It is a series of information that has been crammed into your head that does not help you. What it does is it makes you dependent on a societal structure, and it doesn't empower you and it doesn't enable you to be a successful person in life. Think about it. You go to school. Do you ever see any classes in school that teach how to be a success in life? No. They teach you reading, writing, arithmetic. They teach you the basic structure so that you can become functional enough to serve the corporate, industrial, societal complex and get a J.O.B. So why do they do that? Because they need a labor force. They call it a labor force. I call it disguised slave labor. They have given you shitty tools for becoming a success. They've given you no tools for becoming a success in life. It's crazy. Here's the thing. You are taught to go, you get your education, and you get a J.O.B., which stands for just over broke. What do they give you at this J.O.B.? You do your J.O.B. and they give you this. But what do they get? You get a couple of lousy bucks, and this is what they get. They make so much money off of your cheap labor, and you don't even realize it. And that's the matrix. And that's what I want you to wake up from and realize. You can fight the power and put yourself on the throne. You don't have to be a cog in this giant machine that is taking advantage of you on a daily basis. But in order to get there, you have to reprogram your thinking. You have to question everything, and you have to seek out a different form of education. A form of education that is going to enable and empower you to get the things you want in life. So let me use an analogy here. I love using analogies because it's a very illustrative way to show you what's doing. So I get some people saying, hey, Kinghuman, I want to break free of the matrix. I want to be a success, but I just can't seem to get there. I don't understand what's wrong. Well, here's the thing. You don't have the drive, you don't have the passion, you don't have the follow-through, or maybe you don't have the tools to do it. Here's the analogy. Okay, you are on a dirt road in your car, a one-lane dirt road going through the mountains, And you know, over that mountain, over that rise, several miles away, is your success bubble. And you're trying to get to it. So you're driving your car on this dirt road and it starts to rain. Sure enough, you hit a mud hole and your car gets stuck. Now that's where a lot of you guys are. You're stuck. You're on your path to your success. At least you think you are. You're going after it, but you're stuck in a mud hole. Now, what do most people do when they get stuck in a mud hole in the rain? They hit the gas harder. Like that's going to help them. You're doing the same thing, only harder. It doesn't get you anywhere. It just spins your wheels faster and digs you deeper into the mud. So, using this analogy and carrying it forward, what do you need to get to your success bubble? Well, you need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to get out of your warm, comfortable car, get out in the rain, go out, find rocks, sticks, boards, whatever you can, get in the mud, shove them under the wheels, your back tires of your car, and get back in your car and hit the gas so that your wheels get traction and you get out of the mud hole, and then you can carry on your path. Now, does that analogy make sense to you? What I'm demonstrating there is that most of us have been programmed to stay within our comfort zone. Most of us would sit in that car waiting for help because we've been programmed into paralysis and into thinking that we are not good enough. We are not empowered enough to fix our own problems and get to where we need to go. And that's a lie. That's a lie. That's something that's been programmed into you. You're much better than you've been taught. And you can do so much more than the educational system has taught you. The educational system that you've been given tells you your worth is this much. This is your value. What you can donate to us in society, that's your value. What is that? That's how much they're willing to pay you to do a J.O.B. But they've given you an education that doesn't allow you to make your own way in life. So it's an insidious trap. And you need to get out of that matrix. You need to make your own way in life. If, in whatever aspect it is, if it's financial security, if it's relationships, if it's personal happiness, personal growth, whatever it is, you have to using my analogy, you have to really be determined, put in the effort, get out of your comfort zone, and really be determined to get out of that ditch. It's not going to happen on its own. You have to put in a monumental effort. And that takes, I realize, it's a really, really hard thing for most of us to do because we haven't been given the tools. A lot of people sitting in that car waiting for somebody to rescue us are sitting in that car because they don't realize, they don't understand, they don't have the education to know that, wow, look, you know, in this field there's a bunch of wood, there's a bunch of rocks, there's a bunch of things. If only I knew how to grab those things and put them under my tires, that would give me traction and I could get out of this ditch. But a lot of people don't know to do that because they haven't been taught to do that. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to wake you guys up to the matrix that you're in, make you realize you need to reprogram your thinking and change your thought processes, and I'm trying to give you the tools to do that. So not only will you have the education, but you'll have the tools that can empower you and give you what you need, because I just can't stand seeing people living their life in misery when they don't have to. I was there. I was that idiot truck driver with no power, no self-empowerment at all. I was taught to be a battery in the matrix, but I broke free of it. So I want to wake as many other people as I can up and say, look, You want to stay in the matrix, fine, but you don't have to. You could make your own way in life. At least you should try. Here's the tools. Here's the training. Start thinking differently. So with that in mind, I've been starting to put on my website, thekinghumanelite.com, I've been putting a lot more personal empowerment education in there, courses. And in this upcoming course in July, there are a couple of books I really want you guys to read, because there are some tests in those books that will make you need to take these tests so you can take an inventory of your thought processes. And once you look at the results of that test, you can see, wow, am I really that messed up in my thinking? And then you can start to change. Once you realize how programmed you are, you can start. That's the first step towards breaking free of the matrix bubble. And that's a big goal. That's why I'm putting this stuff in the money pages on my website, the Kinghuman Elite now. So there it is. And as far as tools go, using my analogy, like the sticks and rocks that you need to get out of a mud hole, as far as tools go, one of the cool things I give you every month, I give you guys businesses in a box, completely done for you products that you can take and sell as your own. But this month, I'm going a step further, and I'm giving you, this month being July of 2016, I'm giving you a completely done for you product that I've put on JV Zoo. It's 100% yours. You're going to get it. It's all ready to go. It's on JV Zoo. Boom goes the dynamite. So you got to have the determination. You got to be willing to reset your thinking, and you've got to be willing to stick through it in the long term. Because if you're that car and you get out of your mud hole and you start on your road to success, you may get stuck again and again and again. That means you've got to be willing to get out of your comfort zone every time. Get wet, get muddy, get dirty. Do what it takes to get where you need to go. And so many of us are not willing to do what it really, really takes. I could talk to you guys for hours about what I had to do to get out of the matrix on a personal level. I mean, I worked my ass off, but now I'm free. So I don't know how much effort it's going to take for you personally to get out of your matrix bubble, because I don't know you personally. I don't know your situation. I don't know your motivation, but develop mental toughness, get the tools, get the education, and get the desire, the hunger. You've got to laser focus on your success if you want it. And you have to fight for it, and never quit fighting. It's not easy. Probably not going to be easy for most of you. Wasn't easy for me. I do know there are some people that do it and they get through they get out of the matrix and it seems easy for them. For me it wasn't, and that's why I want you to be prepared for the worst. Prepare for the worst fight of your life. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. You can do it. You're better than the matrix has programmed you to believe. Alright guys, I hope this makes sense to you. Maximum respect, and donate a few bucks to help us a kid at St. Jude's Research Hospital for Kids. Why? Nothing is better. And it helps you. It helps you develop as a human being. Alright guys, cheers.